Isn't that lovely, Sara Lou? We're going to play the rest of this at the end of the programme. Have a little listen to a bit more.
Darkness should find its way into our lives. I'll send a million kisses on a mission to brighten up the sky.
So that's the first single for you, and the debut album is called Clean Slate. Sara Lou joins me on the line now. Hiya, Sara Lou.
Hi, Damien. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. I'm great. We'll talk about your writing style and your singing style in a minute. But firstly, talk to me about the family or the relations or the Cumminses. Say hello to them all this morning if you want.
Yeah, I know they're all gathered around the radio, so I'm sure they'll be delighted to hear this. Yeah, they're all down from Dungarvan. I'm from Dungarvan originally, obviously, and I lived in Dublin for a while and then moved to Cork, but very close to my family. My mum, dad, my grandmother, uncle, aunts, they're all down there, and, I have a great relationship with them all. And yeah, up and down a lot to Dungarvan to visit them too.
Whereabouts in Dungarvan, by the way?
So we're just out on the All Road, kind of towards Cork area. Okay. But a lot of family in Dungarvan town as well.
What's mum and dad's name? Do you want to say a little hello to them and to Granny? What's their names?
Yeah, so there's Elaine and there's Stan, and then there's my nan, Breda, who I'm very close with.
Hello, Breda, and hello, Mammy and Daddy. No, it is important, and it's lovely to be able to do that because you never forget your roots, and I think that's one of the things leading me nicely into the whole idea of, I suppose, the style of singing and songwriting that you do. So how would you describe your style?
Yeah, I'd say I'm very much influenced by, and have been throughout my life, which a lot to do with my parents as well, growing up with around country music, that sort of, and folk as well. A lot of, grew up with a lot of Mary Black and things, but had a CD at the time, actually it was a tape, I think, which I probably shouldn't be saying, but anyway, we'll pretend it was a CD. It was of Alison Krauss, and I used to go up and down to Clonmel. I was learning to whistle and flute at the time, and we used to play that tape all the time on the way up and down in the car, and I used to love the music, and then I suppose I moved from that into the likes of Shania Twain and Leanne Rimes as I kind of moved into my teens and things like that, and I suppose, yeah, I just love the country pop style, and I think it's always in my music, it's always in my writing, so I think, yeah, that's definitely where I found myself.
That's where you're coming from, yeah. Now, in terms of trying to forge a career for yourself, are you qualified as a physiotherapist?
A psychotherapist.
Sorry, yeah. And how have you managed, or what are you trying to do in terms of, would you like to be a full-time singer? You are effectively a full-time singer-songwriter, but like that difficulty, it is difficult, isn't it, to try and make a full-time career out of this?
Yeah, absolutely. I qualified as a psychotherapist only last year, and I set up my practice in Cork, so I'm loving that, and I think it's very much, it comes into a lot of my music, even, in general, about what I'd write about, or, like how I'd approach songwriting and things like that. And then I think to have something like psychotherapy and then something like music too, they're so different, obviously, but they bring so many different things to me. And it's amazing to be able to write and to record. I love that process, and I love performing as well. So I suppose for me, I want to be out there and singing and performing and writing more, and we'll see how it goes, I guess, from there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, very much so. Talk to me about, you've mentioned a number of influences, others in the business at the minute that you look up to or that you aspire to.
Yeah, well, some of the ones I mentioned there even at the beginning, the likes of Shania Twain, who's still very much around, and lots of new music coming out recently as well. But I suppose more recent, the likes of Taylor Swift, Miley Cyrus, very much influenced as well by Lady A, previously known as Lady Antebellum. I know they go by Lady A now. And also I suppose Fleetwood Mac, I listen to a lot of Fleetwood Mac, and Katie Tunstall is another one of my favourites as well. I love the sort of guitar and the rock chick vibe of that, so I suppose, yeah, very much influenced by all of those artists.
How do you write, Sara Lou? Do you work on lyrics first? Is there a thought in your head? Is there a flash of inspiration? Do you set aside specific times? Or talk to me about your processes.
So I suppose my process is very much melody first, which I know is interesting. I've heard a lot of people talking about it. You know, the other way around, they might have the lyrics written out and then they might come up with the melody. But I very much get a melody in my head, or I'll be playing the guitar and I'll come up with something that, you know, I feel is good, you know, or it just resonates with me somehow. And then I'll stay with the melody for a while and I let the sort of the feelings or the themes kind of come through that. And I suppose what's always interesting with that is you don't know where you're going to go with it. And I guess, you know, always what you come out with is, you know, stuff you've been influenced by, maybe things you're going through at the moment, people you've met along the way. And I think it's always interesting then as I'm listening back, I'm thinking, you know, I didn't realise that thing had such an impact maybe, or, you know, I didn't realise that I was seeing it that particular way. And I guess it's almost like a learning for me then too, through the music and through the writing, sort of, you know, what I'm experiencing or how I'm seeing things, I guess.
Okay. And in terms of that melody and the connection then with the actual lyrics, does it take you long to write a song?
You know, it can vary. I think I've written songs, you know, in a couple of hours, and then I will be sitting with the same sort of loop or the same melody I could be sitting with it for weeks, or even, you know, there's still even a couple of melodies I have there that, you know, I'm like, I must get back to that one. And, you know, they're stored in the phone, and I know I will go back to them at some stage. And I suppose what I find often as well is that you could start writing and you might finish the song, but then you'd write another song another few weeks later and you'd find yourself bringing that in and maybe it working into another song, you know. So yeah, the process can vary.
Yeah, I remember when I was growing up reading about how Yeats used to write his poetry, and sometimes he'd spend maybe 2 hours working on one stanza, and other times a poem would literally nearly write itself. So it depends, doesn't it?
Absolutely, yeah, definitely. Sometimes I wrote one actually that's on the album, and I wrote it actually in the middle of we had a really bad storm. I think it was Storm Desmond. I don't know if you remember that. It was a good few years ago.
Yeah.
And I was in my room, and, you know, the storm was raging outside, and I wrote the song in an hour, you know, and it just all happened, you know, very quickly. So I can see how that can very much be the case, you know, when you're writing.
What song is that called? Which one is that?
It's called What We're Running From.
What We're Running From, okay. I watched the Wham documentary the other night on Netflix, and they were talking about the writing style of George Michael, and as you say, just some things just come to you as an artist. They just literally, they hit you and it works, you know?
Absolutely.
It must be lovely, is it, Sara Lou, when that happens?
It is, you know, it really is. And sometimes I know I have something or a melody in me, and I need to get to the guitar quick before I forget it, you know, and it's that inspiration. You don't know where it comes from. And, you know, I always value it, I suppose, because, you know, you'd always wonder where is this coming from, this energy or this inspiration, you know, and to create something from nothing, you know, I get so much joy from that. So
did you have any formal training in music in terms of writing songs?
No, I didn't actually.
Wow.
Yeah, and I suppose I didn't even start, you know, singing or playing guitar till, well, you know, I was singing, I suppose enjoying singing growing up, but I didn't properly start singing and playing guitar until my mid-teens, really. I've always been involved in the performing world, though, as such. I grew up with Irish dancing, and I did a lot of that. I did a lot of traditional music as well. So I've sort of always been on the stage somehow, but the singing side of it didn't really come in until a little bit later.
Yeah, okay. What about the album? Talk to me about what's on it and what we can expect. I think, is it early August or September you're looking to release?
Yeah, so it'll be more towards October, I think, early autumn.
Okay.
That's the plan, or more later autumn, should I say. Yeah, so I suppose I have the first single, which I released a few weeks ago, and then I have another couple of singles as well to release from the album in the next couple of months, and then following on from that, then I'm going to release the full album. Then it has 10 songs on it altogether. They're all very much similar to For You, the single, that sort of country pop vibe that's very much throughout the whole album.
Talk to me about love, if you wouldn't mind, because we know a lot of singer-songwriters base quite a percentage of their output on the themes of love. How important is love to write about?
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, I suppose I was listening to my album actually, you know, and it's almost in every song. You know, I think it seems to be a thread that goes through everything. I think it's a very easy place, you know, to pull from. And I suppose it's, you know, for me, I'm actually getting married myself in September actually, so it's very much all romance at the moment, and you know, wedding talk and honeymoon talk and all of this sort of thing. So yeah, I'm getting married in September, and yeah, I suppose my partner Kaylee, she's very supportive. You know, she's you know been such support throughout the whole process, and is always encouraging my writing and my singing journey. You know, so very much comes into a lot of the songs that I would write.
No, that's really nice. That's lovely. Well, congratulations, and I hope it goes well for you. I hope the wedding goes well. Will it be in Dungarvan or somewhere else?
It'll be in Cork, actually, in Castlemartyr.
Oh, lovely. Very nice. Yeah. Yeah, because a lot of people write, and we're told if you're a writer or a creative person, like, write about what you know and bring your own personal life into things. And if that connects with other people's personal experience, then you've hit the jackpot. But do you bring some of your own experiences and your perceptions of love into your writing? Yeah,
absolutely. I do. Yeah. I mean, you know, sometimes actually, again, listening back even over, you know, to some of my older stuff, you know, when you're listening, you didn't realise even the place you might have been in, or what was going on maybe within a relationship that you had. And I suppose when you're listening back later on, you sort of pull a lot together then of maybe what you were going through or what you were experiencing. And I think, you know, even now it's very much the centre of, you know, I suppose a lot of my songwriting, trying to pull on those feelings, you know, a lot of the real human feelings, I think, that everyone experiences and people can relate to. You know, I mean, for you is a sort of love song / heartbreak in there, and you know, even the next song that I'm going to release as well. You know, that's those sort of themes running through it as well.
And is this song dedicated to Kaylee?
It is, yeah.
And she likes it.
Yeah, she does. And, you know, I'm catching her singing it around the house the whole time, you know, and she sort of saying, the song is stuck in my head. So I was like, that's a very good sign, you know. So, yeah, no, she was very encouraging of me to put it out there and to get the rest of the music out there too, you know.
Yeah, no, it's a very good sign. We've played a little bit at the start. We'll play it all now, just at the end of this interview. How can people access it? Where can they download it? What's the best place to, because obviously it's not a case of going into a record store and buying a cassette now at this stage.
Yeah, I definitely shouldn't have mentioned the cassette. But yes, I think we're in the streaming world very much now. And yeah, I guess it's everywhere on Spotify, on, you know, Apple Music, Amazon, wherever you get your music from, it'll be there. If you type in Sara Lou, so SARALOU, there's no H in my name, which can be a bit confusing. But yeah, if you put in Sara Lou and put in For You, it'll come up on anything. I have a music video actually as well that I released for the song last Friday. So that's on YouTube too, if anyone wants to have a look.
Okay. I must have a look for that as well. So it's Sara Lou, or as people might pronounce it, as you say, Sara Lou, SARALOU. Sara Lou is how you pronounce it, but that's how it might be spelled. And the single is called For You. Sara Lou, listen, thank you so much. Lovely to talk to you, genuinely.
You too.
And, the very best of luck with the single, and we'll try and get as many sales for you as possible, and good luck with the album. Come back to us again maybe in October, closer to the date of the album launch, if you want us to help you publicise it again.
Absolutely. I really appreciate the support. It's so special to get onto your own, you know, your radio station that you grew up with, you know, so it's very special to me. So I really do appreciate it. Thank you.
You're very welcome. And any of your family and friends that are listening, hello to them as well. And to your partner, to Kaylee, I hope you have a lovely build up for the wedding and a great time. Listen, that's great. And we'll talk to you again soon. And congratulations and well done, because getting an album out and getting a single out, it's a big, big thing. So fair play to you.
Thank you very much.
Darkness should find its way into our lives. I'll send a million kisses.